what what adjustment is the box going to need to make if you just keep like because if they keep lining up in this and you keep throwing this 5 yard hitch, there's probably two things that they could make an adjustment on. What do you know what
Pressure.
those two things would be?
They could press the corner or bring the backer out.
There you go. Right. And if they press the corner, now they're letting up deep, right? That's a big risk. And if they take the backer out, now we got a run look.
Mhm.
So we really I think that I want to say that Tony Romo was talking about this after the Bills Bengals game, and he was saying, the Bills just did an excellent job. I'm sorry, the Bengals just did an excellent job of just adjusting to what the Bills did. If they were in cover three, oh, we'll beat you with cover three beaters. Oh, they're in cover two, we'll beat you with cover two beaters. And he was sitting there saying, a lot of teams, they'll just like, no matter what the defense is in, they'll just read progressions. They'll just read, they'll just try to read it and, adjust on the fly. But these guys were just had plays for everything that they were getting.
Mhm.
Here's kind of a similar situation. I think, would you agree?
Yeah.
Similar situation here. Luckily you guys are still somewhat able to run the ball. You guys are getting positive gains. They're not long, but um, is this the pick? Okay.
No, this one isn't.
No, not yet. So now we've got this is like almost like a little stick concept, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
Excuse me.
Number three, just find space over the center. Two has a 5 yard option. Uh,
Got it.
one, one on top has a 15 in, one on bottom has a skinny post.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is not as much of a stick concept as I thought. This is more okay. So this I'm considering this to be somewhat of a high-low.
Yeah.
Um, I can see why you went to the option route. Um, what coverage are you considering this to be in right? Considering this to be right now?
Uh, some type of. I'm expecting a 3 or a man.
Okay, I'm thinking more man just based on the difference in their corners alignment,
Oh,
and then also um, where has the middle safety gone?
he's on the right side of the field.
And it's almost like he's like, I mean, shoot, he's only about not. He's a little bit more shallow, and to me, his eyes have changed.
Mhm.
Um, maybe he's looking at your tight end right now. Do they end up
That's
blitzing? They don't. Um, the strong safety is still kind of in his regular like preset robber look.
Mhm.
You know what the robber is, right?
Yeah.
Robbing crossing routes, digs, all that kind of stuff over the middle. But they're stacked up. They're like daring you guys to throw the football.
Yeah.
So I think this is the right decision here. But I think ideally you don't really like he's this defender is playing more of a catch technique over the little hitch route or the option route. And if he were to bail, then I think we can sit. But if he sits, we need to break out.
Mhm.
Do you
You think
understand why?
you think he should have broken out?
Yes, 1000%.
Let
In
me see again.
addition, I would say just based on this look right here, this defender here has somewhat inside leverage,
Mhm.
tiniest bit. Um, and I'm seeing like man across the board basically, right? This pressed look. And then um because watch this defender still, the defender over number two. You see how he just sits there and tries to
Yeah.
catch?
Yeah.
Have you heard of what catch technique is?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so he's playing catch technique, which is literally they're just being taught like catch the receiver, like sit there and wait for the receiver to like try to force him to run into you.
Mhm.
And it makes the receiver's job very difficult because it's just like, oh, I just made contact with him now. And now, like, this linebacker, right? This is kind of still within 5 yards, can be way more handsy. and really impede my route. It can really mess it up. So I need to try to separate from him. If he's going to sit, I need to make a move. I can't just sit if he sits. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So if you're seeing defenders like they're playing catch technique, why is a defender playing catch technique? Do you know? Especially a backer.
he's kind of just playing sticks.
Mm-hmm. Mm, can be that can be the case, but I guess it's was that second down.
Yeah,
So here, think of it more from like a skill set perspective. Why is he playing catch technique?
because he's not the most athletic.
Yep, he's not the best pass coverage guy. He's better at tackling. He's better at blocking. He's better at using his arms, right? So he's going to try his best to do that, and it just kind of covers the play. It's not necessarily the wrong decision, like I said earlier. It's just we have to be a little bit more on the same page of like what we're going to need to do based on how these guys are playing us right now. In addition, just like on this play, I'm just going to kind of finish that thought on that last play and kind of relate it to these two matchups right here. We talked about this last week with just throwing like a basic 5 yard out on the inside and outside go. I believe we talked about this. Maybe that was a different film group, but when these guys take off outside, what does that do to the sideline? And what does that do to this defender? It
Opens it, clears him.
yeah, it opens it up a ton, right? So we just kind of have to be a little bit more aware of what our where our space is going to be based on what these other receivers are doing, especially if it's an option route.
Mm-hmm.
So similar to me, like this situation here, it's identical, right? We've got more of a cover one look, man to man, especially over here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not really sure about him because he's looking inside right now, but there's a reason why the strong safety just went over and lined up over number two.
Yeah.
He just changed his positioning. He's not playing his normal Rob over the middle right now. And so when I look at there's 3 out of 4 defensive backs right now that are showing 1000% man technique,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm going through that checklist and going, you know what? Most likely he's going to be doing the same. He's not going to just randomly be in zone and they're just going to like let this guy go.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They play man.
Is that not PI, by the way?
Let's see.
It's a 5 yard in.
Oof. Shit. He didn't.
I thought that was pretty bad.
What's the rule though? Is it within 5 yards?
Yeah, but he gets like push pulled here though.
Oh, but can't I'm just trying to play. I like it sucks that you guys threw a pick, but like it's he. Oh man, he gets bitched.
Yeah.
Sorry to say. Oh man, he just what? Oh, that's a. I don't know what the rule are. The rules within. I think it's within 5 yards still, isn't it?
Not when the ball's thrown, I don't think, is it?
Ooh, that's a great question. I gotta go look at the rule book really quick. Um, yeah, I think that's definitely questionable. Oh, that's a tough one. Um, it's like there's not the best routes being ran right now. Okay, so talk to me a little bit about the play here. It's a 5 yard in, you said?
With yeah, 5 yard in with like a 3 yard
What's he
cover.
running then?
It's like a it's like a slant, but you shuffle out of the break. That's basically the best way to describe it.
Got
Which
it.
I did have him hot.
Okay,
And
so
the
how I'm reading this is I'm reading this like double slant.
yeah.
How are you reading double slant?
You could read it inside to outside, but
That's how I would read it.
the way I saw it was expected the outside to get a good release on him, and I thought the inside would just clear out the defenders for the 5 yard in.
Not a bad. I don't disagree with that. I think that's a good analysis right there. Um, Honestly, were you able to see that he blitzed?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So I think in a perfect world, and I've been there before where I don't see him blitz either. In a
Yeah.
perfect world, um, especially since this is like a I'm picking this side and I'm going to it kind of play because it's quick game. You want to try to do your best to keep the peripherals focused on what's happening throughout your cadence, if
Hmm.
possible.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
get what you mean.
huh?
Yeah, I said I get what you mean.
And it's not easy to do, especially like if this guy here gives you a ton of inconsistent locations with their snap, and you really have to focus on where the snap of the ball is going to be every time. Makes your life a lot harder to like focus on the defense while you're going through the cadence. But with that being said, yeah, you're trying to focus on the peripherals, and then just like you said, you're reading inside out. Now, what I'm doing for slants is I am reading inside out, but I'm going by defender. So I'm trying not to look at the route because if I look at the route, I can lose sight for these two,
Hmm.
right? Like if I'm waiting for him to kind of open up, that's giving them time to get over, right? Now, one of them blitzes and gives you a lot more room. He doesn't
Hmm.
even read your eyes.
Yeah.
He's just lost. So, um, pre-snap, let me go back to that really quick. Pre-snap, what I'm thinking of is like, I don't like him there, especially if he doesn't blitz. So this is probably going to try to, just like you said, it's going to try to screen those guys.
Yeah.
So I guess like what I'm thinking of is I'm just like, I know that he can win here because he's off right now. So I need to confirm that that lane is closed, and then I push outside.
Hmm.
And then the other thing too is like this is a terrible route. No offense to your guy, but he needs to sell vertical and a press man look, try to be even with him and swim by.
Hmm.
5 yard ins are rarely going to be won when you're just like physical, 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 and then you break in. The guys
Yeah.
you see doing that are like the DK Metcalfs, the old school Julio Jones, like all the extremely big physical tight end like wide receivers who could just bully a defender,
Yeah.
right? And even then, I would say that's a low percentage win because there's just so much hand fighting going on. There's so much distraction happening and I guess like physicality happening with the receivers and the DB.
Hmm.
You put the ball in the right spot, he just loses. So, you know, you're you're kind of shit out of luck. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, that's the kind of conversation I'm having with my receiver is like, hey, dude, like next time you run this 5 yard in against press, like try to sell fade. See if you can run a route that isn't or sell a route that isn't gonna create so much contact and
Yeah.
distraction for you. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So much of this, Brandon, is your communication with your wideouts. Um,
Yeah.
it's so important. It's so important. I was watching Gronk was talking about his first year in New England, and Gronk was like, "Yeah, like Brady would sit me down
He's
all
like
the
a
time.
coach
He would
more
have me,
than
huh?
You saying like he was more of like a coach than a friend at first or something?
Yeah, he was like totally a coach, and he was just like telling, hey, I want you to run this route this way because I'm going to put it there. I want you to run that route this way because I'm going to, this is how, I'm going to throw it. Like that has probably helped my pass game more than any fundamentals, any freaking arm strengthening exercise. The chemistry between me and the receiver,
Mm-hmm.
it's so much more important than everything else. Because if these guys, as we've seen already, if these guys are freaking running around and they're looking at the ball too early, they're not aware of what zone they're actually trying to impact on their route. They're not aware of the depth. They're not aware of the coverage. It screws everything. Because if one of these routes is not in the right spot, and this is like a progression play or this is a zone beater, it completely defeats the purpose of the play.
Yeah.
And I don't think enough emphasis is placed on that in the film room. And great run. And I think the main reason for that is just like you said, you guys didn't even have a receivers coach. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time, you have receiver coaches that are not they don't know the game that well,
Yeah.
and so they're more focused on like, hey, did he run his route? Like, did he run it hard? Did he catch the ball? It's very basic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a 4-yard completion here. Boom, hitch, nice. Look at that. I'll take it. And here is another example of the importance of being on the same page with your receiver. I like to say hitch routes should be ran at 7 yards.
He rode way too early.
So early.
He's supposed to be at like 5, but this
Now,
is that quick.
yeah, and watch and this is extremely important because these guys don't understand this. They don't believe us when we tell them this. Like, what's his responsibility right now based on what you
Vertical.
see pre-snap?
Vertical.
Yes, he has to. He has no other choice. God forbid if this kid gets beat deep. He is just as afraid of all of us to fuck up and go back onto the sideline and get cussed out by his DB coach. He's just as afraid of us or as us of, oh man, I got to make sure I play well today because I got to send this tape out to this coach. Or, oh man, mom and dad are in the stands today. I can't screw up. I got to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you run this at 7 yards, even 8 yards, maybe even 9 yards, I'm pushing it now. Watch what he does. Like he's bailing. He
Yeah.
doesn't even like sit to wait and see what kind of route is being ran. He's taken off. Imagine if this guy runs even harder for 2 more steps. What do you think he's going to do even more of?
Bail.
He's going to bail even more. You
Yeah.
have 7 yards of space to throw the ball. Like that's amazing. We would have a ton of success if, every receiver was that open.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just another like something to get on your guys about. Like you don't necessarily have to do it in the middle of the film room and right in front of the coach, you know. But
Just
you
on the
can
side.
it's something private. Hey man, like push that hitch just a yard or two more. And I guarantee you the coach is going to be like, hey man, way to push that route. Way to push that route vertical. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Those little things, man, it goes such a long way. Goes such a long way in the pass game. Getting your receivers to understand the game like you're understanding it. Sorry, my dog's snoring if you can hear her. Oh, excuse me. So 7 in the box. Strong safety has just rolled down. The corners are showing what kind of technique. Excuse me.
That they're probably gonna bail.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit more zone like.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that, they're not going to still follow them. Their eyes are probably just inside, excuse me, to kind of figure out what's going on in the backfield first. But the one thing I think that's important to continue to pay attention to is his giveaways. So watch where he starts going. He starts rolling up, he starts rolling up, he starts rolling up, and then he goes, I'm in man,
Mm-hmm.
just like he did before. Right. So when studying defenders and studying the games before or just studying the teams before your game, start to pay attention to like who gives shit away. Right? Like who does not know how to disguise man coverage? Who does not feel comfortable looking in the backfield knowing I have him in man right now?
Uh-huh.
He just like is telling you I'm in man, right? And then what that should tell you as well is what does that mean for him?
He's a man too.
Yep. Because does he have safety help now?
No,
If he goes like that, what's he going to do?
he's gonna go.
He's going to go. So
Those
no matter
didn't
what
get
he's
it.
doing, he just gave away what has to happen on this side of the field in order for their defense to flow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow?
Yeah, I get you.
Now on this side, this is a little bit different. Like he's further off. Now this backer is really far in the box. And he
Mm-hmm.
very likely has the tight end. But that guy's playing a little bit further off. He has a little bit more safety help, but still, I I think he's probably going to keep bailing. We can see it from the back view a little bit better. And then when you also see, like, okay, he's come up over number 2. He just drastically flies in, like upon you clapping, starting your cadence, he's coming.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just run over there for no reason, and he didn't just walk up over number 2 for no reason. So just that alone right there just gave you 2 other answers of, other defenders and what they're going to do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
There are always defenders that are going to give away a lot of things because they're just not as good. So they have to be more obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to pay attention to those guys. Wait, is this? Oh, that's just the same defense. So now they're being even more obvious that they're going to be in man. And now this is 0, in my opinion.
Yes, I saw that too.
Here's another giveaway. He starts flying in, and now this safety is so far down, and then the corners are dead obvious and when they're playing man.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in 0 right now. And way to escape and get out of there. and here's the problem. Here's why the drags aren't there yet. He's looking back and going, is he going to throw me the ball? I don't know. Your tight end is like running really far up the field and running a 10-yard drag route unless he's supposed to do that.
He's supposed to have a 10-yard box in.
10-yard
So
box in. Okay.
so it's supposed to be. We did not have a post ran out of this the entire time, but receiver on the bottom is supposed to stem inside, then go vertical, hit a corner. Number 2 on the bottom is supposed to have the 1-yard drag. Number 2 up top, 10-yard in, and number 1 up top, post. But that post was never ran on this play.
Got it. Okay. So just looking at like pre-snap alignment right now, and where these receivers need to get to technically, to be in the right position. So your tight end is like 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now his 10-yard route is now a 14-yard route.
Yeah.
Okay. And he still runs it at like 7 yards or 8 yards, I'd say, because he's all fucked up because he's 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and he's got no idea what his space is right
Mm-hmm.
now. Okay. He's all fucked up because he's 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They're supposed to be off the ball. Off the ball means just off the ball. It doesn't have to be so far back, right? So now
Mhm.
he's going to be taking longer to get to his depth. And what coverage are they in right now?
Zero. I was thinking post at first.
Okay,
Just
why?
at the very top. He has all the field to work with.
Okay. Now, here's my next question I'm going to ask. We're going to go to the back view really quick because it looks like they almost have 5 down. Shit, of course they don't have it. 1, 2, maybe 4, 3, 4. Is that 4?
Um,
I think it's 4. And then here's your 5th. Here's your 6th. And I
yeah,
understand what you're saying in regards to throwing the post.
yeah,
Now we're going to kind of revert back to the first question I ever asked you in film, which is, am I protected right now?
no, definitely
No.
not.
So this is this is unfortunately a situation where you have to be like, okay, number one question I always ask myself on every single pass play and run play: are we protected?
Hmm.
Do I need to be hot off of something? Is this a situation where I need to throw the outside hitch because the box is stacked and we're outnumbered? And right now, there are 7 to 8 potential blitzers.
Hmm.
And knowing that my tight end is going out for a route, I am outnumbered. So if the defense, does what they're supposed to do and uh, don't just run into, they don't have 2 guys just run into one of my linemen and just magically help me out. I don't necessarily have time to throw this post
Hmm.
because someone is free.
Yeah.
And so now what I'm thinking is I'm either trying to throw like a quick fade, quick drag, quick slant. It's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 right now. Third and
Hmm.
3. Yeah. So you have somebody come and it gets you out. Post isn't even, I mean, dude, these routes are 4 yards down the field right now.
He's
And,
looking.
and you're, yeah, and you're escaping, right?
Yeah.
So that just kind of measures like um, the speed of like, how fast this play is going to happen. And so you have to live to fight another day in this kind of situation of like, okay, like this is like when I throw the drag. This is when I throw, maybe like a quick running back swing route or a quick fade. Um, I don't have time to wait for this post. And that's why I was saying like, hey, you need to move up, maybe even cut your split a little bit because your ass needs to get over here fast because you're my number one option.
Yeah.
And that's who you end up throwing it to, right? And that's your first down right there. Okay. Does he get to that open zone? I'm just talking hypothetically here because this is great. This is excellent. This is exactly what we want to happen. Okay. Does he
Hmm.
get there faster if he's 1 yard up, 1 yard in, and doesn't look back?
No, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's chemistry with the receiver, right? This has nothing to do with your arm talent or your great ability to escape the pocket, throw the football down the field. This is a great play by you. You're the reason why this is a first down. But it's like, can I put a lot less stress on myself by making sure the receiver's in the right spot?
Yeah.
And that's a leadership aspect of the game, communication aspect. And when you're playing good teams like Grossmont, they're flying around, they're trying to pressure you, they're trying to make you feel like you can't sit back there and throw the ball down the field, right? When you start to pick them apart with these little short, quick throws, they'll start to back off.
Hmm.
Oh, good spot. Oh, he leaves you no room, unfortunately. That's a tough one. Good spot. Finland, is that
It's just
looks like
a big play action, like a heavy play action-ish play.
okay, so I saw outside go. I saw deep over.
Should be over with the in, and then
This looked like he ended up kind of running it like a curl. Maybe it's just because he got rerouted. And then
should have been,
someone over here had a flat.
yeah.
Okay, so we went over this play last week,
Hmm.
right? Same concept. You remember?
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically the 5 yard out with the fade.
Yes. And then also, what's this concept over here to the right side
Flood.
of the flood, right? Yeah, it's flood. And ideally, if you have this in on the backside, you'd want either the tight end or the running back coming out and impacting this flat zone. That would really, really make this play work well if you did not need extra protection,
Hmm.
which in this case, um, I think that you have 6 in the box right now.
Yeah.
Um, but now look who's walking up. Oh, they don't do it this time. They don't blitz. They kind of
Hmm.
drop into coverage a little bit. They do try to disguise that a little bit. But what does he not do through your cadence?
He doesn't run up and
Yep.
sprint on.
So there's a tell right there
Yeah.
in my eyes. That's a tell. I don't think this is the wrong decision. Press man, you see no safety help, take a shot. It's 1st and 10. Um, I'd say your next best option is the over. Um,
Yeah.
just because, like, if you're seeing this pre-snap, what coverage are you thinking right now pre-snap?
No, 0.
Yeah, 0. Looks a lot like man.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating pressure potentially.
Hmm.
I'm just going to bring my eyes over to that fade side, and if I don't like the fade, my eyes are in this tunnel of vision right here, and I'm reading the defenders that could be impacting my high-low.
Uh-huh.
And right now, both those defenders go low, and I would say your next option, your next best bet would be throwing this ball like a little 2 ball or high 1 ball over those backers towards the sideline. Um, the thing is again, he needs to be aware of, like, even looking over. Well, what's going on over there? Oh shit,
Hmm.
he's a man to man. I got to get my ass over there because that zone's going to be cleared out. You follow
Yeah,
me?
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Your receivers need to know what your read is. They're not just running routes. They can't just be memorizing the playbook.
Yeah,
They need
they
to
didn't even.
understand what the concept is. That's what is, that's why guys are in the NFL, because there are, like,
Smart. They know what
they
they're
are
doing.
so smart, and everyone can run a freaking 4-3-4-4. Everyone, they all can. The corners, same thing. All of them have, they all can jump high. They all can run fast. They all, can move quickly, change directions well. The ones that last are the ones that understand the game.
Hmm.
Every single guy that's at EBS, when you're, like, watching the game, every single guy in the league, they're breaking it down. They're not watching it like, damn, like, what a good break on the ball. Like, they, like, all of a sudden just, like, they start breaking down the whole play.
Hmm.
They're reading the concept. They're talking, they're speaking very intelligently. They may not sound intelligent when they're talking to a reporter, but when they're talking football, they really, really understand it. Nice read. Good read. Just he loses. Oh man, dude, come on now.
He doesn't stay flat out of his break and he went vertical.
And the other thing too is he has, yes, I agree. Um, sell this way. See if you can get him to flip, then come in. He just,
Hmm.
like, kind of like, you see how he attacks inside and then the
Hmm.
corner just follows.
Yeah.
Oh, good read. Good throw. Good decision. Oh, we got a touchdown. What's Porsche?
It's a switch vert concept.
Oh, let it fly.
I got hit, but
Okay. So this is the first time. This is an interesting coverage here. Okay, so
I just saw he was
you got
flat
like
footed.
two man. You have like two man to the boundary, and then kind of like a Rob. This is definitely a combo coverage.
Hmm.
Um, gosh, they actually, I mean, this is like they actually play this perfectly to they play perfect coverage to this play. Um,
Yeah, they do.
it really works out well. Okay, so you have two man to the backside. This corner ends up bailing. Seam ends up going. Phew, that's tough. Hmm. This would have thrown me off. Um, hmm. Okay, so if I'm reading this four verts, um, I'm going right to left. I'm reading backside safety to playside safety, especially since I see too high.
Yeah.
Um, so right off top, when I see him immediately break towards the sideline, it's like cancel, he's out.
Yep.
Okay, so but what that is telling me is like, ooh, middle of the field might be open. Now, I guess my next key, because we've been watching him all game. He's kind of been like their little robber. They've always had this guy kind of sitting in the middle of the field. Um, he's potentially by threat to the middle. I'm not
Hmm.
as worried about him. I'm hoping that my receiver can clear him.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like a reroute at first because he's closer to that bunch.
Hmm.
And then I'm going into the traditional three vert read to the play side, which is like 3 to 2 to 1, and you're going middle of the middle of the field defender. And man, I'll be honest with you, I probably would have thrown that right away, just knowing myself.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that you necessarily made the wrong decision here because he's outrunning him right now. Like he's based on how those. Sorry, I just drew all that shit. You catch him sitting
Yeah.
and you make your decision and you let it fly. Is that what you saw?
Yeah. That's why I threw it.
Okay,
I
so
was trying to lead him more, but
sure. No, I mean sometimes you can't. Um, yeah, I think this is a good decision. Just we get hit. He's got to keep going. He can't look so early. He hasn't won yet.
he just has to run his ass off there.
Yeah, he can't look back yet. You don't look back until it's like those guys are behind you and you're looking for the ball in the air. You feel like you're a lot further down the field than you actually are. He's 11 yards down the field right now, 15, and his head has already turned. Catch point for the vert is probably going to be somewhere around 35 to 40 yards down the field, and you're not quite there yet. You're
Yeah.
only halfway there. So another note to self of talking to receivers, because dude, you are going to see that like probably in 80% of your receiver group wherever you decide to go next.
Turning their heads like that.
Yes, and on like every route. It's I think it's probably the biggest problem in the receiver game right now.
Hmm.
Every single, I mean, I'd say every single kid that I know, every single guy that I know that's playing high school, JUCO, or um, any level collegiately, I'd say 80% of the receivers do this, and don't like. It's as if they've never been coached on it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would like going back and just kind of reading it from a full field view or full field progression. I'm going from safety to safety. He's definitely telling me the middle of the field is open. And sometimes like, hey, this tight end gets matched, but he's just but now he's, can he still body him, right? Regardless if he
Yeah.
throws him to the ground or not. Like he's probably feeling really good about himself right now. Like after that shitty little 10-yard in, he tried to run, he throws down this tiny guy, right?
Hmm.
And oh yeah, I'm open, man. I'm open. Like when he's running the bad 10-yard ends, when he's not getting to his landmarks, that's giving you way less confidence to throw him the football, right? But
Yeah.
but seeing him do that, and okay, so you can get physical. This guy's smaller than you, but okay, this is good to know. Like maybe if I'm just on you a little bit more about your routes and your landmarks, maybe you could do this more often because you
Hmm.
feel comfortable, because you feel confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So four vert, safety to safety. Safety, backside safety to play side safety. Oh, they're backing too high now. Ooh, nice throw over the middle. So this is a this is almost like a let's see, curl post.
It's post curl with the over.
Or what's on the back? Oh, what's on the front side? Let's see. Oh my freaking god, he's looking back. Gosh dang it! Look at he's open.
This was the base look I expected to see in the game right here.
Got it. So this is just
When
quarters.
when we saw that, I knew I could easily come back to my over because 10 reads eyes.
Got it. Okay, so but again, you guys are kind of treating this over like you could hit it there, you could hit
Yeah.
it there, right? Or you
Mhm.
could hit it there.
Yeah.
So again, now I'm just from the actual concept being ran here. So he's got to go, right?
Yeah.
He's got the out, he's got
Yep.
the over. This is just basic
Mhm.
cross. This is a basic
Yeah.
cross concept. Okay. 1, 2/3, 2/3 to
Hmm.
4. That's
Yeah.
your full field progression. Okay, so I'm seeing quarters right now. So what am I anticipating this corner doing?
Bailing.
Bailing, right? So now I'm going into my next key. And if he's going to bail, he's most likely going to go help too.
Hmm.
Okay. So where can my eyes go to determine that he is my guy?
10. The mic.
I would say yes, you can, but I would also make sure you're looking at him too.
Oh, the outside backer. Yeah.
Because he's your main. So in quarters, who's my flat defender?
Him.
Yep. So he could potentially sink if he wants to ignore the flat, which then tells
Hmm.
you you can throw that flat.
Yeah.
But he matches the flat, he goes to the flat, and yes, then once you see this, what I like to say is that when my eyes are over here, I can see him in my peripheral and I can kind of see him flying across. I can see where the zone is going to be where I need to put it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think if you can wait just a tiny bit longer,
Hit him there.
yeah, it just kind of opens up the zone a little bit more for you. It opens up the window between um, where the mic is
Hmm.
because he's lost right now. He's not
Yeah.
making this play.
No way.
He's not making this play. He's lost. So quarters is a great look for this play. It's a perfect look. based on what the defender's responsibilities are. And, hey, just get him, like, keep your eyes over there. I'm not throwing this to the hash. I'm not throwing it to the hash.
I get you.
Cross is not necessarily meant to be thrown over the middle of the field. It's supposed to be thrown outside of the tackles. This will be a
Makes
good view
sense.
right here. Because he's going, why is he looking over here? Why is he looking over here? Right? Watch where
Really
he,
slow.
you see where his eyes go?
Yeah.
Now now he has no idea where you're looking. So this is a
Mhm.
perfect example right here of like what eye manipulation can do, and then what that does to a defender. Because now I've read footwork. He's read footwork. He's read your initial eyes. Now he's going, what's being ran? So you have that splits. You have like literally like a second and a half where he has lost focus on you and is now looking to see where receivers are, which
Yeah.
which can screw them up. Okay, so now you're anticipating throwing here in this window, right? But the high low is happening in this window.
Okay. Yeah.
And now you've gone to route, right? You've gone to where's the route,
Mhm.
right? And you've lost him and him, right? That's a tight window there. Would you agree?
Yeah. The ref helps out. He's getting the
Yeah,
most.
totally. The ref helps out. Now, after he reads concept, now he is still dropping into coverage,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
He's running full speed. Those are two like mismatched momentums. He will not catch this.
Yeah.
He's going to fly right by him.
Okay. So kind of just wait, let him fly by, hit him after.
Yep. Yeah, just keep your eyes in your tunnel of where the concept is trying what the concept is trying to attack.
Okay.
And just trust that. And trust what I just said about like, okay, I just brought my eyes to maybe middle safety first. Then I brought my eyes over to my right side, which is my key. Then he brings his eyes over there. He's lost. I don't need to worry about him anymore. I'm continuing to focus on where my keys are.
Okay.
And then that's making my decision for me. Can we take a quick bathroom break?
Yeah.
All right. Be right back. All righty.
This is that same play with the post and the shallow. So
Pre-snap, really quick. What do you think they're in right now?
quarters are a two.
Why quarters or two?
Um
Think about right now, like,
oh man, yeah, they're in man.
yeah, right? They're in man. They're in, and you can look at the now what kind
Two
of man.
man.
Are they in cover one or are
Two,
they two man?
two man, yeah.
Two man, right? I'd say they're in two man as well. Um, and remember your checklist like of pass pre-snap pass coverage, high safeties, and then I'm going all the DBs. Where are all the members of the secondary? And if I can see any linebackers as well, who are big time giveaway guys because they're not as
Yes.
good at pass
Yeah.
coverage, I want to see where their eyes are at, where their leverage is at, and what their depth is in relationship to all
Mhm.
my receivers on the field. So when I look at both my nickels or both these linebackers, they are for sure in man,
Mhm.
right? He's about as man of a squat as you can get, right? And then I look at my corners, they both have inside leverage and they're both staring at their guys. So it's 4 for 4 here in terms of my
Mhm.
like DB checklist of like of leverage, eyes, and depth. So two man.
Mhm.
So you kind of fumble the snap a little bit. Oh shit.
I
And
was looking for the 10-yard in is what I was trying to do.
gotcha. Okay, so what are good like drag routes, crossing routes are great man beaters.
Mhm.
Because why? Do you know?
Someone has to go across with him.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like usually if you're running across the field, they're trailing you. They're having to
Mhm.
run with you, right? It's somewhat of an
Yeah.
easier release for the receiver. Now, where does he mess up? Oh, good try getting across. Right now, what I'm thinking is, what does he have here?
Uh, he's supposed to stem in, go vertical, and have a corner.
Got it. So this is just basic drive. This is just a drive concept. Okay, so I don't really like outside corner routes against press man.
Yeah.
That's a tough route to run
Mhm.
um, for the receiver.
Yeah.
I like my drag and my dig
And that's really it.
because on the outside, the other outside, your right side number one, he's got a post. He said,
Supposed to be. He runs the same route as the other one, though.
okay, so even regardless, he has a post.
Yeah.
He has a press man right now, and knowing what you know about two man, what's his responsibility?
Vert.
He's got deep half, right?
Yeah.
They're splitting the field in half right now. Sorry, that was a bad one in the middle. They're splitting the field in half right now, and that post is like running towards him.
Yeah.
It's a great clear out route for my dig
Mhm.
potentially. Um, and because you guys haven't really ran this with any success yet, I'm not thinking about like, oh man, I'm going to throw the post here. Now, I'm not saying you just said that. I'm just kind of going through
Yeah, I get you.
this process, right? Like you want to throw this post once you've hit that dig like 3 times and he's jumping,
Yeah.
right? He's bailing right now. And holy shit, he's getting rerouted. Like this is, we're not in a great situation here. Also, your boy tight end is running across the field with his arms out like he's getting ready to catch the ball. And it's like, keep going, man. You have to separate from your defender. You're not done when you come out of your break.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's
I was still
so
trying to.
important for it's so important because you could throw the prettiest ball, Brandon, and I see this with like who's a who I watch a lot of um with the younger kids. who has this exact problem on his team, and it's the reason why his team is not beating the other quote unquote better teams. And that's
Mm-hmm.
Malachi Nelson, the Los Alamitos kid that's going to USC.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the number one quarterback in the country right now.
Yeah.
Like he literally all they do is just throw like go balls and screens to their athletes
Mm-hmm.
because schematically like it's very evident that they don't know what they're doing on offense.
Yeah.
And it'll be like cover 3 to the field and Malachi will throw an outside go to number 1 as like the deep third defender is just like bailing into coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, it's a beautiful throw, but the receiver isn't open and it's the wrong read. And but hey, man, looks pretty doing it, and he can throw it 60 yards or whatever. So guys in college are going, oh well, we can teach him the game,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, can you? Because he's been playing that way for a really really long time,
Yeah.
and he knows how pretty his ball looks, and he knows how many times the coaches have gone, man, you got to go up and make a play, man. Like you got to do something, shit like that. Great coaching. I know you've heard that stuff before. Come on, man, you got to throw the ball harder. You got to like you can't fit it in there. And meanwhile, it's like, well, shit, I should have been waiting for this crossing route to get over the field this whole time. Or, shoot, man, like my dig route is, drifting upfield.
Mm-hmm.
Or I have smash here. Here's a perfect example. And and I'm drifting into a defender. Even though I see him drifting towards me. Oh shit. Just kidding. I want to go back out now.
And that's what I actually was wanting to hit there, but then I was like,
So, and maybe you're feeling that slight hesitancy because you don't know what he's going to do. You're not sure how he's going to read this because he reads it differently every time. And there's no clear cut communication on how both of you guys are reading it and how both of you guys are looking at this. So, right off the
am I
bat,
wrong for not hitting the corner out here?
no, I think you're wrong for not throwing this right now. Bang.
Uh-huh. Okay, I get you, man.
Because regardless of whether or not he's going to drift inside,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right now, what I'm thinking based on what I see pre-snap, and I'm really trying to get you to understand how to just judge leverage and what routes can now impact that leverage and open, and how it can open things up for you. So
Yeah.
you see this, they're back into that like one high safety look where they bring the safety down and they're basically just going like you guys can't win.
Mm-hmm.
You can't win here. That's why we have these guys on islands, and that's why we're just stacking. We're going, we dare you.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get pressure on you. Our D linemen are better than your O linemen. You've ran the ball kind of well. Not that great yet. And you still haven't been able to go over the top on us. You got one lucky play. That's what they're saying. You got one
Mm-hmm.
lucky play where the receiver came back and caught the ball, but should have been a pick. We're going to keep doing what we do. And we've already picked you off.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have 2 picks. That's how they're thinking in the defensive mind, based on that one like go or that slot deep seam that you threw that you got hit on.
Yeah.
That's how they're looking at that from a defensive perspective. That was they gave that one up. That was a giveaway. They lost on that one. So here you have smash called, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of. Is it mirrored? Sorry.
No, it's not mirrored.
Okay, so
It's
you have smash called. What's on
over,
the backside?
over and post curl.
Oh, right. It's that same thing. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now I'm saying, if I have smash here, I want to throw smash because my over and my post curl is not really like a combination that I'm throwing with smash.
Especially with where the guy is for the over.
Huh?
especially with where my over guy is. He's off the ball a lot.
Yeah, and knowing him, that's is that who's running it?
Uh, I think it's a different one.
It's the single receiver.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's
No,
the guy
it's tight
running
end.
it. That's the
So tight end's running it, and knowing
hmm
him, I mean, shit, you're gonna be on the whole. You'll already be in the next play by the time he gets over here,
hmm
right? So knowing your personnel, understanding and being honest with your personnel. Okay, he's not gonna get over there. Like it's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna work smash right now because if this is cover three, right, or just even and even just canceling out, I don't even know what coverage it is. Fuck it, it doesn't matter.
hmm
What's his eye? Where are his eyes? Where is his leverage? And what's his depth?
He has zone eyes. He's he looks like he's gonna fail.
And does he have safety help?
No,
No. So what do I know? I can throw right off the bat
the
because
hitch. Yeah.
yep. So just take that right now. Take that 1, 2, 3 ball and throw it right out here where he's supposed to be.
Okay.
And based on where okay, hey, maybe you could argue I've had coaches go, well, shit, you better if you're on the left hash right now, you better get that hitch out fast because he could break on it or he could get out there to the flat because that's your flat defender. Okay, there's no safety help. I know he has to bail. That's why
Mhm.
that's my first confidence booster to throw the outside
Okay.
hitch because that is a far throw, especially with the college hash. It's like a 30, 35 yard throw sometimes on a line off one
Mhm.
step. Sometimes you don't even get laces,
Yeah.
right? My next confidence booster is, well, where is potentially my flat defender?
Way inside the back edge.
Way inside the hash. He's plus 2 inside the hash. And in addition, what's his route going to potentially do to that defender?
Uh, hold
From
him just a
Go
little
ahead.
bit. He's gonna hold him a little.
Yeah, right. Where is he seeing an immediate flat threat?
He's not.
He's not. So why would he immediately go out there?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like those are two confidence boosters to be able to like go, yes, this is there. Take that.
Mhm.
I don't need to see if the route is open. I don't need to see how the route is being ran. I just saw what those two defenders are doing over there, and this is the decision I'm supposed to make.
Okay. This is
Start the
a
double
5 yard
slant
in.
again.
It's 5 yard in. Two has 10 yard in. One or three has a skinny post.
Okay, so this is like a little levels play, kind of.
Yeah.
I think this is a good decision here. Um, I'm seeing, yeah, like two. Or they're playing man, they're covering, and then he ends up robbing. Interesting. That's just technique. That's just how they're being told to read.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, seeing that as an offensive coordinator, if I see that again, I'm like, okay, I want to try to just like your previous play where you kind of when you got hit and you threw it deep, right? Like their safety is being taught to break on intermediate routes and basically leave that man defender alone with the deep threat. So
Mhm.
one of the safeties is being taught to rob or being told to rob, while the other is just getting over to a deep half and protecting over the top to the field. I mean, look at your tight. Whew.
Yeah.
Now
There's a.
that's usually more of like a clear out route, I would say,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that like you come back to and you're like, well, shoot, man, like let's throw this in again and let's see what the safety does.
He told me right after the play. He told me that they had him.
And the thing is, and don't what I would suggest is yes, he's right. Like that's kind of like, well, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, like no shit, I should have threw that. Like, but that's not what I'm reading and that's not what I'm anticipating right now. So like
Hmm.
if I'm keeping my eyes down the field the whole time and I'm reading this safety and then I get sacked, but he's open, what's coach going to say then?
You're an idiot.
Yeah, right. So it's like you have to kind of be aware of like the process of hitting these concepts and like yes, this is a clear out route. So coach, we don't ever throw this.
Hmm.
So that's okay. He's getting on my ass for not throwing it. Why didn't you throw this? Why didn't you see this? Da 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 da. Whatever. I'll look for it next time. We just got a good first down, or we got a good third down throw that potentially almost got us the first down.
Hmm.
All right. Um, don't live in that shoulda, woulda, coulda world of who you could have gone to,
Yeah.
or hey, if you would have thrown that, I mean, it would have been touchdown. Like, yeah, no shit.
All day.
But that's not what our read is. That's not that's not what we're doing. There's so
Hmm.
many. I know there's so many coaches out there that you've probably had multiple that are you're coming off the field, you're looking at the film. You had the dig, or oh man, if you would have just waited a little bit longer, you would have had the post. And it's like, coach, we just had an 8-yard gain on a shallow drag.
Yeah,
Like that's a good play. You
exactly.
don't want to start going into this mindset of like, well, oh, but I could have, well, I should have done that. Well, maybe I could have done that. Well, maybe if I wait for on this play, maybe it'll work. Like
Mhm.
you're gonna have a lot of struggles if you start playing like that. Um, so really quick, just to kind of finish this thought on this play, you have your 5-yard in, you have your 10-yard in. What are you reading like pre-snap? If you were to kind of like replay this in your head, what coverage are they? Do you think they're playing? And I'll give you
Uh,
my answer. I don't necessarily know pre-snap what they're playing based on how they're aligned.
once again, I'm gonna say like a two man or like a four with the corners bailing.
Okay, I would say that unless you had seen them play quarters from this pre-snap alignment, I would
Yeah,
stick with the
we
with the
have.
two look, like two man or cover two.
Mhm.
Because usually when teams play quarters, if they are in this too high look, the corners will be further back.
So they did a lot of match too, which is like matching route concepts. For instance, if there's like a 5 yard out play with a fade, the corner stays low.
So like he breaks out.
Yeah, corner should would have stayed low there from what we saw in film.
Gotcha. So he's just kind of reading. He's reading 1 to 2. I would say the word when I use the word match, I use the word match like in this situation here, where he's covering him,
Okay.
not necessarily reading 1 to 2. Um, that's just kind of like a it's like their option route, right? They're just making a read, right
Uh-huh.
there. And that's a great analysis. That's a really good thing to know and a great way to be able to manipulate the defense, right? Based on how they react to certain routes. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Ooh, good job. Free play. Oh, he's just got to look so dang early. Good throw. Good back shoulder look. Um, did they call false start because he moved too?
They didn't call it. He was he came up to me. He's like, dude, I moved. Like I literally moved. The ref saw me.
um, free play. He's just looking so early, you know, like he's 3 yards down the field and he's looking back for the ball.
Mhm.
That's the biggest problem. Now it's 2 yards, and I mean, this is one of probably 500 plays throughout your season that were ran like this,
Yeah.
so those little problems, if you can get adjusted, um, what's it called, at practice earlier on can really help you, as I continue to try to stress.
Yeah.
All right. Now, interesting. If you're in, if you guys are in, now you guys are in double tight, you guys are in 12 personnel, and back to back plays, they've basically just gone, I mean, they are daring you to go over the top.
Yeah.
They're daring you. Maybe, and despite the fact, excuse me, despite the fact that they're daring you to go over the top, you have to be honest with yourself, and your coordinator and your coaches have to be honest with themselves. Can they win, or are we just screwed right here?
Yeah, they were kind of getting bitched this
So if
game.
they are, is this now the most favorable personnel to line up in, or formation? Yeah, is this the most favorable personnel for us to line up in? Because where are the weak points technically from just like a, like, let's say it is, you know, like we are freaking dead even across the board.
No,
Where are
vertical.
offensively, where are our best matchups right now?
The outsides.
Yeah, the circles, right? What I've just circled, those matchups. And where does the defense know they have a weak link? Like where's their weak point?
They're our strong point.
Yep, exactly. Right. So that's why it's like, if these guys are getting, you know, out physicaled the whole game, despite the fact that, like, on paper this looks like a great look, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
We have to be very honest with ourselves, and we run the ball here, and I would highly doubt it's going to be successful because we're just so outnumbered, right? Like, we're getting into this personnel because we want to throw the ball.
Yeah.
If they're going to give us this look, same thing, right? So now we've got 3 plays in a row where they're giving us the same look. We're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go back to, nope, we're still in it. And
This is that shallow play again.
this is the shallow play again. So this is who's running the dig? The tight end still?
Let me see. Where's Y? Yes.
Right here.
He has the shallow.
Okay. So my guess is that he's going to get caught up and not going to get across fast enough. And are you protected based on what the route, how many people are going out for a route?
No.
Nope. So you better, that freaking drag better be on a racehorse getting across, because
It was,
I'm not going to have time for anything else to develop.
yeah, it was not.
Here comes somebody.
We were in trips, actually. My bad.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that either. That's on me. I thought he was a
So,
receiver.
yeah. So the post is up top.
Okay, so post, you're canceling out. You don't have time for this. Unless you're like, oh shit, this is a big mismatch. Like,
Yeah,
he is so slow, he is so fast, he is going to just absolutely cook this kid.
I'm thinking shallow and in.
So now you're thinking shallow and dig. So this is a trips in, and look, he even delays. He waits. We'll watch it from the back view. Oh, we don't have it. Watch him delay. You see? You see how he kind of walks up to the line?
Mm-hmm.
Go back. Walks. Okay, now I'm going to go. And it's like, by then, shit, you're already having to make someone miss.
Yeah.
You think he knows they're blitzing?
No.
No, he's got no idea. Look at he's now behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, bro, what are, like, and God bless him. He just doesn't know. He has no idea. And I
Hmm.
guarantee you that he'd be a way better player. All of a sudden his physical traits, the reason why they recruited him, the reason why he's the guy that's playing, the reason why he's the guy that's playing, his physical traits will start to improve
Hmm.
because he knows where he's supposed to be. And tight ends are oftentimes a lot smarter than the receivers.
Hmm.
Ouch. They're closer to the ball. The rumor is the further the player is away from the ball, the dumber they get in regards to knowing football.
Yeah.
That's the running joke. So your center, he's probably the smartest guy on the offensive line,
Yes.
right? Your guards, they're in a little closer contact than your centers. When you get
Hmm.
to your tackles, they're the bigger, stronger, a little bit more athletic offensive linemen, right? So now their physical traits are a lot better, but
Hmm.
maybe they're not paying attention to that outside edge rusher, and they're just going, "Oh man, no, where's Brandon? I didn't see him." It's like, dude, he was
Yeah.
lined up over you. So again, it's another reminder of like you got to get on these guys about what their responsibilities are because no one else is.
Yeah. You like basically telling them you got to sprint across the field right there, dude.
Yep. And literally, dude, I mean, it can be as like dead obvious as like, yo, Johnny, whatever his name is, they're in cover zero. You need to sprint. Do not delay this route. And telling him that at the line of scrimmage. They don't know that he's running a drag. They don't know that if he's running an out. They don't know if you didn't tell him what route he was running. No delay, sprint. Get right to it. I need you to get over there as fast as possible because they're blitzing and I'm unprotected.
Hmm.
Like he needs to understand the situation you're in because now here's their motivation. Well, wait, shit, he's paying attention to me. Does that mean I'm going to get the ball?
Yeah.
This is all they care about. That's all they care about. Oh man, I get to run a route. I hope I get the ball. It's not, oh man, I get to run a route. Let me make sure that I open up this route for this route because he's got to get to that zone and Brandon's unprotected.
Hmm.
That's a huge difference in thought process.
Yeah.
When the motive is right, the play usually works. All right, we'll go over one more pass play and then we'll call it for today.
Okay. Juice.
What's juice?
Um, so outside on the right, this is right before halftime too. There's like 20 seconds left or something. The right outside has like a seam slash like bender switch vert. Uh, yeah, kind of like that. The slot has a switch curl at about like 12-ish, 15, yep. And then number one on the top has a switch curl.
Mm-hmm.
And number two on top has a switch vert.
Okay.
Switch curl and then slot has the switch vert. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so how you see coverage now?
Mhm.
What are they in?
Two man.
Yep, I agree.
Mhm.
Um, so based on that, I personally like the right side of the field a little bit more because a curl against man is much easier to run when you take an outside release. He's got the outside release curl. Than
Mhm.
a curl that needs to take an inside release, which
Mhm.
is this man.
Mhm.
And against two man, what's an opening of the field against cover two or just a two high safety look?
The outsides,
Yes. What else?
the zones in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And we have a vertical switch route that's not stopping and
Mhm.
attacking the middle of the field.
Yeah.
So um, here's how I would read this. Um, too high. You're reading this like four vert, where your first initial on your first initial step, where can you bring your eyes to open up that middle of the field vertical switch route, buddy? Outside
To my
shoot,
left.
huh?
To my left.
Yeah, you can look over and lock eyes with this boundary safety,
Hmm.
who in the past, when we've seen this two-man look, what has he done a lot of?
Just open and turned.
Yeah, just open and turned, right? So he opens up the middle of the field for you. Great.
Mhm.
So he confirms that. And then what you can do is what I would think of is I would go from here to there to there.
Hmm.
And let's see how this kind of how this works. He goes,
Hmm.
right? So as soon as I see him, I'm going, "Ooh, okay, nice." And then I bring my eyes over here and I see him outside of the hash. I really like this route.
But he doesn't even run it, and that came off him.
Right. Now, you can't control that though.
Yeah.
And like, especially when you're playing against a team like, and maybe this is just how I play. And I mean, all I can do is just try to coach you the best on my experience and the game that I play and try to adjust to your skill set too. Um, I'm just throwing this. Like,
Yeah.
look at how open the middle of the field is.
Yeah.
Like, dog, you got to do your job too, bro. Like,
You're just
fucking
gonna throw it
win,
in the
man. You
middle
got
of
to
the field.
win. And when you see like, and this is a perfect example of like, you know, hey, do we need to change the kind of routes we're running against man because we can't win vertically? Do we need to
Hmm.
cross up? Do we need to set picks because our guys aren't as athletic? Do
Hmm.
we need to create more open zones because of that? Right? Or can we win vertically because we have speed and we have guys that can really win vertically?
Hmm.
Football is such a it's so much about personnel, you know, and that's why like in the NFL, I mean shit, watch let's see who's playing now. It's going to be Niners and Eagles, right? And
Yeah.
Bengals and Chiefs.
Hmm.
Did you know that I think I maybe mentioned this to you before. I know I've said it a lot in the group sessions. Do you know what the percentage of man-to-man defense is that's played in the NFL? Like as an overall, like the whole league?
Is it 45?
I think it's over 50%.
Really?
So a majority of the time teams are playing man to man.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Well, tech, that's the only thing that covers everything.
Yeah, because you play a team like you play against Brady, you play against freaking Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and they have decent protection. What do you think they're going to do to a zone?
Pick it.
Fucking pick it apart.
And that's when they go to man to just hope their guys win.
Yep, it's my guy against your guy. And I'll never forget. I was with I'm totally blanking on his name. I He was a D line coach that I met out in Europe. The first year I was out in Europe, I worked this camp in Vienna, Austria, where they had all the European kids come out and um, we had all these American coaches. They brought some NFL guys out there to for like hype purposes, and one of the NFL coaches that came out was a D line coach, and he had been around the league for a long time, like 20, 30 year guy, like big time vet, and had a couple rings, was showing that off, and he said, out of every single defense I've ever been on, one of the most consistent things the coordinator has always said is we have to stop your best guy. In the NFL, it's about stopping your number one threat.
Hmm.
So if I'm a Vikings fan, it's like, what happened to the Vikings when they stopped Justin Jefferson? They lost.
Yeah.
They would lose. They
Hmm.
weren't able to utilize their other weapons as well. When Justin Jefferson was going off, they went off.
Yeah.
Last night, the Cowboys lost Tony Pollard and only had Zeke. That really restricted them. They put pressure on Dak. The Eagles have, oh, I'm sorry, the Niners have great defensive backs. They've got a great defense. They have good pass rush. I
Mhm.
guarantee you, if you look back at that film, I'm sure they played a lot of man,
Yeah.
a lot of man-to-man coverage, and they're just as obvious as the JUCO guys. They go up and walk up and stare right at you.
Mhm.
Pay attention to that this coming weekend and see how much man-to-man these teams play, because oftentimes it's super easy to tell because the camera is oftentimes so focused in, it's like so zoomed in that you can't even see the deep safeties, but you can see all the guys that are pressed up, and so it's very
Yeah,
obvious when they're in man.
I've been looking at that before, and it's like I've been like, this literally looks like the shit I go against at times, like
Yep,
the way they're lining up and all that shit. I'm like,
yep, dude. We'll watch next week. Next week, God willing, I still have the access to my buddy McLeod's film account. We'll watch the NFL tape, dude. It's
Mhm.
it's no different. It's the same shit. Cover four is still cover four. Cover three is still cover three. Um, the nickels and the linebackers still give away the pass coverage, and every once in a while, you'll get some complex look. Maybe a D end will drop, or hey, this corner will do a really good job of manipulating, but you're still paying attention to your checklist with your corners and your DBs, excuse me, depth, eyes, and leverage. Um, you're still paying attention to how many high safeties you have. You're still paying attention to, am I protected? What's my box look like? They're just bigger, faster, stronger, but it's all still the same stuff.
yeah.
It's all the same stuff. And it's interesting to see how many quarterbacks don't make the right read and don't read the field well, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, but they had a little bit of a different upbringing and a little bit, they had a little bit of a better team in college or in high school that got them their shot. It's
Mhm.
pretty interesting to see that process, but I could talk all day about that. You have any questions? You're all good?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Okay. I hope this has still been very informative and helpful.
It is. Yeah, it's always helpful.
Cool. Right on. Well, I guess I'll see you Wednesday then.
Yes. Thank you.
Let's do 9:30.
9:30.
9:30 at OCC.
Okay, perfect.
All right. I'll see you then, man. Have a good
Thank
rest
you,
of your day.
man.
Take care.
You too.